They're shooting him. What blood? Who's the blood flat? They're shooting him. In mine. What blood? They're shooting him. Samantha. You're blind. See there.
Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. The edited version of the video that you just saw is of an incident that allegedly took place outside of a doctor's office. Don't know if this person needs some sorts of mental assistance. Don't know if he needs some sorts of doctor's assistant, meaning that him head is sick, it no good. However, based on the information, it seems as if there was a confrontation with the police and that individual, and it ended up with that individual getting conned up. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based off a video that has been making its round on social media, where it is said that some men were driving in a vehicle when they were hit. Their vehicle was hit by a police that was driving his vehicle with some other police officers inside it. It was obvious that this man was drunk, meaning the police officer. And people, when you see the reaction of the police officer and when you see the cover-up, I am speaking about systemic problem as it pertains to corruption, abuse, and everything that is bad with the JCF. I want you to take a listen, take a look to the edited version of this video, and then I'll give my piece.
On July 28, 2025 in Clarendon, Jamaica, a 2008 Nissan Tita pulled off the road next to a bus stop. The car had 3 occupants, and one of them intended to catch a bus and head home. After stopping and saying their goodbyes, one of the occupants, who we'll refer to as passenger 3, opened his door to head toward the bus stop. But before he could get out, they all noticed the headlights of a car driving erratically and heading toward them. Passenger 3 quickly closed his door in surprise. The group watched in confusion as the oncoming vehicle swerved onto the side of the road, continued driving unpredictably for a short distance, and then crashed into their car. But what at first seemed like a minor fender bender quickly took a dark turn when it was revealed that the driver of the other vehicle, a drunk, off-duty police officer, believed he was above the law. Armed with a handgun, he began a violent rampage against anyone who dared to point out that he was clearly in the wrong, including his fellow officers.
I use the sign as this thing can be dealt with amicably. We get called Don't do that, man.
But let's start at the beginning. This video picks up immediately after the crash. By this point, the drunken officer had already slammed into their car, then reversed a few feet away from it. The moment he stepped out of his vehicle, the smell of alcohol was unmistakable. When asked why he was driving on the side of the road, he quickly became aggressive and began assaulting the driver of the Tita.
So where you was, bro?
Right here, sir. See when push you back from there. Clearly as here.
Man, really pull off already.
So I end up over. Pull off already.
No, I end up
Back to
No, don't do that.
The first rule of the road is to keep left.
Pull off a road.
The first rule of the road. Don't do that, Sergeant. Calm down. Don't do that. Sergeant, just pull off.
Pull off a road.
Just calm down.
No, me I said the
Pull
car.
off a road. You hear me say?
No, me I said the car over here to me. I said, oh.
Sergeant, just easy.
A while later, as another one of the Tita's passengers was on the phone with the police, giving them directions to the scene of the accident, the drunken officer suddenly and aggressively attacked that person as well.
Here's my glasses. Him just look me in the face. Here's my glasses.
It's reported that at one point, the officer even pulled out his gun and threatened to shoot them. Eventually, the police who had been called to the scene arrived. They clearly knew the drunken driver, addressing him by name, and despite being told about and witnessing his aggressive behavior, they took no action against him.
We get called Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Listen, don't do that. Just set him right.
Alright, the police officer, sir, must exchange papers. You have the papers, right?
Yeah.
And he might refuse to turn up field
I
papers.
refuse to turn up to him. They say, don't police and take it. Call and that's it. That's it. Ah, man, you want the papers, them better. No, we're no business with him.
Even when he refused to exchange insurance information, despite being instructed to do so by the other officers, they still did nothing.
You know, go exchange no insurance now.
Remember, I used to say, as this thing can be dealt with amicably. My friend am I kicking it in for my friend.
Look how far him have. Him literally reverse back, you know. But look how far him have to turn to reach on the road.
After reporting the incident to the Maypen police in Clarendon, nothing has been done. It was clear they also knew the officer, something they openly admitted. Yet despite everything that happened, the drunken officer has seemingly gotten away with it scot-free. No charges, no consequences, just silence. If this is how justice works when the cameras are rolling, imagine what happens when no one's watching. What happened here wasn't just a drunk driving incident. It was a clear abuse of power covered up in plain sight. And if something like this can happen so casually, right on the roadside, in front of witnesses and cameras, then how many times has it happened in the dark, unrecorded, and unheard? This isn't just about one officer. It's about a system that protects its own, even at the expense of innocent lives. And that system only stays in place if we allow it to. So to every honest citizen watching this, don't stay silent. Speak out. Share this video so the officer can be brought to justice. Demand accountability. Because if we don't hold them to the law, then who will?
So people, this is my disclaimer before I proceed. Don't know if this is a reenactment. It sounds real. Don't know the date of it. However, what it speaks volume about systematic problem of corruption, abuse, and cover-up with the JCF. One officer, a senior officer, he was drunk, hit the people vehicle. Even though his police officers tried to restrain him, it was obvious that he was not taking any talk. The police people that came on the scene of the crime or accident, they tried to cover it up when the people went to the station, cover up once again. Now people, this is not an isolated incident. The problem is that this exists in Jamaica, in the JCF, but many persons are in denial. So I say this to say that the sooner that the relevant authority, JCF hierarchy, address this problem, which is vast in the JCF, in the military, in Jamaica, then more persons are going to get abused, more persons are going to get hurt, and even worse, more persons are going to lose their life. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called bizarre, it is called grim, it is called Tale from the Crypt, Jamaica style. And this is based on an incident that took place in a place known as Old Hope, that is in Westmoreland, western side of Jamaica, where a lady that was taken out lost her life on or about December 10, 2023, was laid to rest actually on a bed. Someone that is her caregiver, she had the body lay down on the bed and put a sign that she laid there on the 10th of December 2023. It was only until family members came to the house and they were refused to let in by the caregiver. They called the police, and when they went inside, they were shocked. Now, a lot of persons heard just some of the story. However, based on a news article that was done by CVM News, it tells the gory, the grim details. I want you to take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Nothing eerie from the outside of the house in the middle, surrounded by other dwellings. Not even the Black Gate. After all, it's been there for decades. The owners now live overseas, we were told, leaving a female caretaker, 54-year-old Gina Robinson, in charge. However, all hell broke loose on July 6 on Old Hope Road in Little London, Westmoreland, when an immediate relative who wanted to spend time at the house was denied access and was forced to turn up with the police when the 3-day final notice given to Ms. Robinson passed.
My name is Reverend Perrin, Custos of Westmoreland. And I, like so many Jamaicans, have heard the news of this unfortunate incident where a woman who died over 2 years ago was only now discovered
Dead inside the house without a trace, no odor. Her name, Viola Destin. A complete stranger, it seems. Her corpse preserved.
She put the lady on one mattress and then put one in the mattress. And keep on a cover with plastic and this. So the final one was the tarpaulin. And around the tarpaulin now she nearly done with board. And after she nearly done with board, now she takes an answer and throw around the board. So you kind of seal it now. When they take out the body, everybody have an dress. And here come up nice and same way,
All eyes now on Ms. Robinson, who operated a small space of worship, a mother and a daughter, her congregation. Robinson apparently deeply entrenched in a belief of self-proclaimed power, reincarnation, resurrection, allegedly guided by a prophet who lives overseas.
I don't think the woman just did natural, so because woman did natural and after the lady said, no, you will get bombing things to prepare for.
Other allegations have come up. The prophet supports all three females financially, and the lady mummified was a loner. A man who claimed he dropped off Miss Viola at the location was told when he inquired about her once, she was at a better place. The interpretation, she was elsewhere, safe, not dead. There was also another male in the picture whose handiwork paid off, $650,000, even though he angered the prophet.
She used to help move furniture in our house and something. And one day over there, and the lady come and say, prophet just called and said you're not supposed to be in the house because you're a sinner.
So who helped this female caretaker with such a big cover-up? One described as quiet and hard-working with a love for planting and taking care of her flowers. The only real Christian in Old Hope Road. If the 2-year incarnation of Viola Destin had taken place, the only evidence left behind written on a piece of paper in addition to the parting 3 words, rest in peace, were her age, 80, and the date of death, December 10, 2023. Gina Robinson is now facing charges of failure to report the death of a person, preventing the lawful burial of a corpse, and attempting to pervert the course of justice.
So people, you heard what the professional news broadcasters had to say. I wanted to take a look to what family members of the lady that lost her life had to say. Because many persons are saying, hold on a minute, then you have family. You just got missing and nobody did any sorts of inquiry. It would seem as if Mrs. Destin was abandoned by the family members. But based on what they are saying, she was the one that pushed them off. She's the one that abandoned them. So people, take a look to an interview that they did with TVJ News, and then I'll give my piece.
But we can't find her for them take him away. And then I give no him. No location of which part in there. One saying they are all open, we can't find him. I'm used to take care of her, And it's like, one day, one man me go out there. And he tell me, say, him didn't do a solve. He crumble and he reach a solve on his stick by taking taxi and things like that. So he tell me, say, he sit down in the sun, they beg. So by so doing while he sit down in the sun, they beg, he see 2 ladies. And he beg them. And I ask him, say, why name? Make him sit down here, so. He say, well, I'm in a good hands. So I say, all right, you're not in a good hands. I look at him, go on with him. But I say, which part of all hope he live? And he say, me nothing know. None of the family them. Nothing know. I say, how you mean, say, nothing know? How you nothing know? He say, when we're ready, we tell you. I say, all right, good. And go away. I mean, call her phone. Me nah get it, then take with the phone from her. So we can't get no contact with her to know which part she there. He said the spirit say, tell him say, nobody in the family enough to see him until when he start walk again. She go with them.
She was never abandoned by us. She abandoned us. She chose to leave us. Reporting her missing, the police officer that we spoke to said that to the fact that we haven't seen her for so long, we have to find out first the last place she has been and then come back to them. It was disbelief at first. Shock, yes. Trying to make sense of what I'm seeing and hearing. It's still in limbo. Putting the pieces together, it's a hard task, and we're trying to make sense of what we have seen and heard.
So, people, you heard what the professional news broadcaster had to say as they gave you the details from A to Z. And then you heard from the family member. People, it seems as if Jamaica is getting weirder and weirder every day. Jamaica is like a movie scene. Jamaica is like Tales from the Crypt. Jamaica seems to be getting from bad to worser. And as soon as persons start taking accountability and responsibility for their elders, this will continue to happen because persons will take advantage of them, whether it is for pension, monetary gain, or whatever, ritualistic, as in this case. So what we learn is that you cannot trust the caregiver, you cannot trust the church, because the church is sometimes into some creepy-ish, ritualistic stuff, as in this case. It is a very sad state of affairs in Jamaica, and this is a perfect example, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about maybe about the end of November 2024 to the 1st of December 2024. It is about a man, 57-year-old Cleo Spirits, that lost his life at the hands of his 27-year-old stepson, Ailey Selassie Richards. This all took place in a place known as Plantation that is in Florida. Based on the information, it is said that on that unfaithful day, the stepfather and the mother of Mr. Richards were home. Mr. Richards wanted the mother to take him to the store. She said that she was going to take him. She got ready. When she went to his room, he was not ready. She went back into the room to her husband, which is his stepfather. She lay down, him come and knock on the door, caused all sorts of commotion. The stepfather then came out. There was an argument, verbal altercation turned physical. Some sorts of gun was drawn. The stepfather was overpowered. The son then took the gun and shot him up. Jumping at the vehicle that is owned by the mother or the stepfather, Tekwa himself crashed that vehicle. He was on the run ever since. However, there was a 10,000 reward out for him. And this is his picture on the screen as I speak. It seems as if somebody was taking real good care of him. He was not hiding in any bush. The good thing is that he was caught. Somebody turned him in for that $10,000 reward. So therefore, friend or family was putting him up, and then friend or family more than likely sold him out when they thought about the $10,000, which they get. Now, people, here is the history of this youth. Based on the information, it is said that his father, his biological father, was a troubled man, got deported back to Jamaica, came back up through the Bahamas, got deported again for a problem that the stepfather even bailed him out with. He was coming back up through the Bahamas. Apparently, him and the people and whatever negotiation that they made, he did not fulfill his part of the deal. And it is said that he drowned, them fling him overboard. Now, when that father lost his life, the son, Mr. Richards, Ailey Selassie Richards, told the mother that if a son or a husband dies, the mother should not remarry. And you hear his name. Based on information, he is not a Rasta. Them call Mr. Peart Rasta Paul or Rastaman Paul. But he was Muslim through the father, meaning the son, Mr. Richards. So the son was upset that the mother got married to the stepfather after the father had died tragically. So there was always a rift. 1 minute he would live with them, then them kick him out. The mother, who has a good job, eventually got the son an apartment. However, he could not keep his end of the deal. Him come back into the house with the stepfather. They were always going back and forth at it. Them kick him out, him come back in, the mother take him back in. However, this time, like I said, everything came to a boiling point, especially when he wanted the mother to take him to the store and she refused and went back into the room. So therefore, this boy thinks that his mother is obligated to him at 27-year-old, causing all sorts of conflict in the house with the stepfather, the mother, and him. The mother, being the biological mother, would often take up for him, and then this came back and haunt them because this son would eventually did what he had planned for a very long time, execute taking the stepfather that he did not like because the mother get married. Take what the people them car, crash the people them car, was on the run from December 2024 until now. They finally caught him, whether some friend or stranger gave him up for that $10,000 reward. People, at the end of the day, you have to be careful the type of person that you pick up, not only the type of person that you pick up, the attitude or mindset of that person's sons or family, because it can come back and haunt you. And such is the case as it pertains to Mr. Peart, Rastaman Paul, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called MATIC got shot and killed with a MATIC in my town, which is Mandeville, Manchester. I guess you could say that murder was the case. I am speaking about 35-year-old construction worker, government name Ricardo Henry, known as MATIC. Like I said, he is from Love Lane in a Spanish town. No love sorts of loss, however, his life was lost. He almost made it to about 11 p.m. At about 10:59 p.m. to be exact, it is said that him along with some other people was there upon the spot when a lone gunman rolled up, blaze up some can, hitting him in the upper body, but mostly in the head. I have a video of that. I am assuming that it is him. It is said that he was rushed to the Mandeville Hospital. However, too late was the call. He was officially pronounced. As soon as I get some more pertinent information, I'll be sure to divulge ASAP. All I know, MATIC got shot and killed with a MATIC in a my town in a Mandeville, Manchester. Murder was the case. Point blank and period. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news, maybe about a year or two ago, I predicted that St. Anne is going to be one of the murder capitals of Jamaica. Well, people, thus far for 2025, 31 people. However, it is becoming more and more drastic based on some recent incident where persons are losing their life back to back to back. In our Perry town, a youth known as Mataran brother, he was taken out. A couple of days later, a week or so later, Jerry, the jerk vendor in a St. Anne's, lost his life. A day or two later, reprisal for Jerry, Mataran and a next man was taken out. A next man was also injured once again. Fast forward a couple of days later in a Lime Hall, Ricardo Hemmings, known as Black Oil, Junior Marks, wanted man from St. James, he was taken out by the police in an early morning operation. Fast forward less than 24 hours ago, an unidentified man was taken out in a Salem that is in Runaway Bay. Based on the information, it is said that at approximately 2:30 a.m., the man in his late 30s was at a bar at a place known as Chuck Stop along with other people. It is said that some men rolled up, blazed up the unidentified man a couple of times. He was rushed to the hospital. However, too late was the call. So people, like I said, 31 since the start of 2025, and the year is probably about in the middle or so. So people, we can expect that my prediction, Agent of Truth, is going to be real as usual, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on an accident that took place in an archery. These are the pictures, these are the videos. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Just happened, brother. Must hug on the post. And the post is tough too, you know. I know the post not there, you know. That's you.
So people, there you have it. Just another day in a paradise. People don't listen. Hard ears make for a soft ass. People don't obey the road code. People are always impatient, driving like a madbot out of hell, not respecting each other or respecting the road code. So therefore, we're always going to get people losing their life, people getting injured, all sorts of damages. The madness and mayhem continues on the roads of Jamaica, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.